CID got me seeing souls. They hybrids in my eye beams, but I've been looking blindly. Gave my soul up for perfect timing. A desert cat reinvented rhyming. How crazy is that?
Sex
What?
minigames is the subject
There
for
you go.
today in Elder Scrolls 6.
QuickTime event, sex mini games in Elder Scrolls 6.
100% confirmed by Bethesda. First
Yes.
time ever sexual minigames in Elder
What's
Scrolls.
They
this?
partnered up with Lovers Lab. If you know, you know.
I know what it is.
I'm so happy I already hit the record button. Now I can include that. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're actually going to be talking about Elder Scrolls 6. I got a few of my friends with me here today. First up, we got Ariels. Ariels has an amazing YouTube channel. You should definitely go check her out. We also did a video talking about Resident Evil 4 over there. So if you want to go over there and sub, I'd very much appreciate it. It's a really good video. She has some amazing content. She streams on Twitch too, so go check her out. We got Derecuda over here. So Derecuda, he doesn't really do anything on YouTube. I've never seen him stream. I don't know really where I met him. He just kind of showed up one day in my Discord server.
It's because I did something.
Yeah. No, all right. Not really. No, Derecuda is awesome. You guys should check him out too. Please go sub to him. Go watch his streams. He makes some really good streams. It's very entertaining. And then last up we got Anime King. Now, Anime King on YouTube is going to be under the name anime_fan_1982. Is that correct?
That is correct.
That is correct.
He streams sometimes. You got like 2 streams on there right now?
Well, multiple King of Fighters ones, and that's and
He's-
maybe
he's streamed quite a few times. I don't know if you keep them all. I usually don't keep my streams, but and I also plan on putting up more content.
the King of Fighters 15 story. I still haven't played through all of them yet on there, so I don't know if I wanted to do a stream wise or do the rest of the story on like in videos
No, you should stream it, bro.
instead of stream.
Do it. And anyone listening to this, please go check him out as well. So we're gonna get started talking about Elder Scrolls 6. I actually really wanted to talk about this. I got a little bit to say about it. First thing I should mention is it's been delayed because of Starfield. So if you don't know what Starfield is, it's the current open world game that Bethesda is working on. It was supposed to come out early 2023. It's been pushed back to late 2023. Which means it's going to be quite a while before we get Elder Scrolls 6 because the devs working on Starfield are actually going to be the same devs that are going to be working on the Elder Scrolls 6. Anime, I think you might have an answer for me on this one. You seem to have like your finger on the pulse a little bit better than I do of just the gaming news. Do we have any idea like where, like has it been confirmed that it's going to be in Hammerfell? Do you know? Everybody seems to be thinking that Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be in Hammerfell. Do you have any idea? Have you heard anything?
I heard that,
You heard that too?
but it was from a video from years ago. But
yeah, a lot of people seem to be claiming that, but I don't think I've seen it confirmed. Everybody says about tents and things like that. I really hope we don't go back to Hammerfell. If we do, it is what it is. But I was actually hoping we'd end up in Akavir, but I guess we'll see what happens with that.
I don't think it's confirmed either. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's been confirmed. Yeah.
we'd have a name.
And right now it's just Elder Scrolls 6. So let's go down the line right here. So let's start with Ariels. What are you looking forward to with Elder Scrolls 6? Anything that you'd like to see? I know you like Morrowind. Me and you, I think we both started on Morrowind. So we're kind of like old school when it comes to Elder Scrolls.
So, as far as Elder Scrolls 6 goes, I want it to be more like Morrowind, which, if you ask me, it's much fucking darker than Skyrim, and it's even darker than Oblivion. Oblivion's definitely darker than Skyrim too, but I think Morrowind, like, if you actually played through Morrowind, like read the stuff, and like the whole atmosphere is just fucking much darker tone than Skyrim. Skyrim had like a super adventure type of feel to it, you know? While Morrowind was just like dark. um, so I'm really excited to see if they can go with a more darker direction, you know? And the most thing I'm excited about is to see what they do with the Dark Brotherhood, because you know that's my favorite part of Elder Scrolls is the Dark Brotherhood.
Same.
I'm interested to see if they continue with like the Dragonborn thing, and if you have, you know, like the Vastrolda, you know. Wouldn't be upset if they got rid of that, to be honest with you. You know, if they went with a different story, you're not a Dragonborn, so you're not gonna have shouts. But Dark Brotherhood and the Thieves Guild, those are my two favorite guilds, and I'm excited to see how they can, you know, make it even better than Skyrim and all the other ones. I remember Morrowind, you had to have Game of the Year edition for some of the stuff with like, was it with Dark Brotherhood for the Game of the Year edition?
It was. You had to have Tribunal.
Yeah. And that was like one of my favorite things from Elder Scrolls just as a whole was that DLC.
Yeah.
Which was just came on the disc for the Game of the Year edition.
Right.
Which I think I still have somewhere. My Morrowind on the original Xbox.
Oh man, I remember all the fog.
Yeah, dude, all the fog. But one thing I felt about Skyrim is that it was very, very empty for the most part. You had some cities, but even the bigger cities, you know, like the first, you know, like Whiterun, you know, for instance, and stuff, like it was cool, but it still kind of felt very, very old Jenny, you know, like it didn't feel like the characters were alive or doing their own thing. Like, I don't know. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, it wasn't bad, but I would really like to see an Elder Scrolls game where it really feels lived in, you know, like,
well,
where like,
not trying to cut you off, but it's funny you say that because I don't think people remember, but I mean, Skyrim is a 360 game. You know, that's 2 consoles ago. You know, like holy crap. I wasn't trying to cut you off though. Go ahead.
That's what I was saying is that it was a 360 game, and you know, that's why it was kind of limited. I feel like there's a difference between you living in a world that, you know, where the world evolves around you. That's the feeling I get with Skyrim. While as some games have the feeling that you're living in a world that doesn't evolve around you. That it seems like they're all doing their own thing, and they're going to continue doing their own thing whether you're there or not, but they also acknowledge you, like when you walk up to them or stuff, you know, like for instance, like Rockstar games are actually really good at this, because like Rockstar, all of the different NPCs and stuff, they all acknowledge you. They all, like, if you get up close to them or if you bump into them, like, I would just like to see them, and I hate using the word, but more immersive. And I think, you know, with it being actually next gen, they could do that. And so that's something I really hope they put more time into, is just the world building.
Yeah, I mean, if modders can do it, why can't Bethesda do it, right?
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, exactly. So let me ask you, Derecuda, what are you looking forward to? What would you like to see in Elder Scrolls 6?
Speaking of what you said earlier, like I actually saw like anywhere from like 2024, 2025, 2026 and beyond as for a release, like is of what people are speculating. And they have a small team of, it's only like 400 developers, and like it's something else like that. To put that in perspective, like Ubisoft has like 12,000. So I'm sure that they do have people diverting resources towards Elder Scrolls 6 currently.
Can I just say, there is a game that just came out. It's like 3 words. I can't remember it. But like the beta was made by 1 person. And then the full game that just came out was made by like 7 people. Yeah. And it looks amazing and plays amazing and everything. Like when you say only 400, it's like...
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at what Hello Games did with No Man's Sky, and That like I feel like Starfield's getting a lot of ideas just
But
from
like
that very tiny team.
to be fair with No Man's Sky though, didn't it take them like 2 years of patches to actually get it to where it was supposed to be on release?
Yeah, to where it was supposed to be. True. No, they way overpromised, but it's still like even on release was a very impressive feat
Fair enough.
to have infinite procedurally generated planets.
Yeah.
You just couldn't interact with anyone. But the odds of seeing anyone in a giant universe is very unlikely anyway. But anyway, yeah, back to what I would like to see. And I mean, I haven't played a ton on the Elder Scrolls series, but I have played at least a little bit since Morrowind as well. But like, I even researched some of the older ones, and like Daggerfall seems like the most ambitious one. So I would like to see them be more ambitious, because it seemed like they started to kind of strip away features and dumb things down for consoles after that.
Yeah, I'm happy you
And
said that. I'm not trying to cut you off, Derecuda, but I'm happy you said that because you reminded me of something I wanted to say at the beginning, which is anyone who hasn't played Daggerfall, it's on Steam for free right now. So
nice.
yeah, if you're watching this and you want to give it a shot, it's pretty good. It is super old school, so you might not enjoy it that much if you don't like old school games. But they do have mods to make it look better. They have mods that fix, because there was some quest where they'd give you directions and it was the wrong directions in the game. They fixed all that stuff. So if you want to give that a shot to anybody listening to this, it is on Steam for free. So go check it out. So my bad though, Derecuda.
Oh, you're
And
good.
I will say real quick, if you have Game Pass, Morrowind is on Game Pass.
That's true.
And you can actually install mods from Game Pass.
That's true.
There's tutorials online. You can easily look it up. Just look up Morrowind Game Pass mod. I did it in an hour, and I'm a fucking dummy when it comes to that kind of stuff. So, if Morrowind is more up your alley, because personally I don't like the super older style. Morrowind is about as old as I'll go as far as Elder Scrolls goes. So,
Yeah.
if that's more up your alley, that's also an option. I added all of the the 4K textures, the upscaling, all that looks pretty good.
Did you want to add anything, Derecuda?
Oh yeah, definitely. I barely got started, but yeah, I actually haven't played Daggerfall, so I want to check that out for sure. Maybe even my PC can run it. Who knows? But yeah, that was the only Elder Scrolls game where you can climb. You could just sneak in the second story, stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely want it to be better, more fluid combat is one of the main things. So I feel like it's kind of slow and clunky, and I don't think much has progressed that much between Morrowind and Skyrim.
I mean, I wouldn't know, because every character I make just ends up becoming a stealth archer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's different. But I mean, hand to hand, or not hand to hand, but swords and stuff like that. Even on Skyrim, it seems pretty slow. It seems a little off to me. Yeah. So I want it to be a more fun combat system for sure, and just
Dark Elf all the way.
Feel, but feel more realistic and everything. Have every weapon feel different, which, not that they don't feel different, but it just seems a little clunky.
Can I just say, you made me think just by saying that. I don't have a PS5, but apparently it has pressurized triggers.
Yeah.
I would really like to see if when you're pulling a bow, or something, it uses the adaptive triggers and shit. That would be cool.
Any first-person shooter, feels awesome, because it does that at least a little bit with guns, and then once you fire, it's goes to maximum tension, and then it fires, and it's a little click. It's nice.
That's if it comes out on PS5 though.
Yeah.
Microsoft might just be like, nope, you're not getting it.
Oh, that was something I was thinking about too. But I didn't have that under the once. But I was also thinking and from what I saw, the characters are going to look a lot more realistic. I love the character creation that they have, but even the NPCs look pretty derpy, in my opinion. So that would be nice for that to change a bit. Let me see. I want it to be a more ambitious title, kind of like because I mean, I guess Morrowind originally was going to be way more ambitious, and they scaled it down for consoles and everything. But just the ambition from Deckerfell, I want to see something like that, where they're not just doing the same thing, only on a little bit larger scale. I want them to actually introduce more things. I don't want them to scale down skill trees, take away certain skills and classes. I want there to be so much more that you can do, like more crafting, everything, all that stuff.
Yeah, Morrowind was supposed to be all of Morrowind, not just Vardenfell, the island.
Yeah, and that's what I heard as well. And like even the towns, I think there's like if you could have like so many shops and places to go to where it actually reflects like a population of 70,000 people or something like that.
Yeah.
And instead of just being a really tiny town with like an inn and a shop and a few houses and stuff like that,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would love to see some online co-op and maybe some PvP.
They just got that for Skyrim. They made not
really?
officially. They made a mod for it. Yeah.
Okay. I would like it officially for sure, and cross-platform support. But if we're gonna have a separate talk about PlayStation, I think it would be dumb not to do it. We got Skyrim on Switch.
Yeah.
But I'll still play it.
Microsoft doesn't view Nintendo as a competitor. That's why.
I know.
They view Nintendo as like a handheld.
But there's no Xbox VR. We have Skyrim VR. That's two consoles, kind of.
Well, I agree with you.
PlayStation VR 2.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. It's just you're just leaving money on the table if you don't let them make it for PlayStation. If you own it, who cares? You know, I mean,
and you're still gonna be getting people to go towards your platform because it's probably going to be free on Game Pass because you own the studio.
Yep, there you go.
So do that. It's still going to look good for Microsoft. You're going to look better to all consumers. I love video games in general. I just tend to play more on PlayStation. Yep. But I would be a lot happier with Microsoft as a company if I am able to play it on my PS5 instead of having to drag out my Xbox One X and it's not going to look as good.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure it's going to, well, actually, it probably by that point won't even be on that platform unless we keep having the chip shortage. But that's a whole other can of worms.
Yeah, we're not going to get into that right now.
Yeah, but I mean, that's still, who knows? I mean, that's a speculation if it's going to be, it may range multiple console generations like Skyrim did, but I don't know if they're going to put it out on legacy hardware at the time, you know? And yeah, that's about all I had on it.
Anime. So, Anime King. Would you like to tell us about anything in particular that you would like to see them do for Elder Scrolls 6?
I would like to see better animation.
Hey, you are anime.
There you go.
Yeah, better animation because it was kind of lazy. And like everybody in the game had like the same several movements that were just copied and pasted for each character. It really was. It's like the animation sucked. They could have been better at that, you know. And the cutscenes could have been better too, you know. And
cutscenes.
Yeah, the awkward cutscenes where sometimes the characters would move out of sync and they would be paused between dialogues and stuff, you know, and stuff like that.
Oh, okay, I see. Yeah. My bad,
yeah. Yeah, that'd be cool if they had, like, scenes, like, from, like the older Final Fantasy games, you know, and stuff like that, where it was pretty freaking badass cutscenes and they're, like, in sync and all that. You know, like, other games, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and all
like
that shit.
Resident Evil 1.
Yeah, Resident Evil 1. You almost a Jill sandwich. Alright. Yeah. Like more variety in quests too, you know?
Yeah.
Stuff like that. There was like a lot of like some of the quests are just similar to, you know, and like say if you choose what like the Empire or Stormcloaks, that much of the main story was like raiding a castle and killing everybody who wasn't defending it type deal. It's the same shit like with the other, you know.
Would you like to see maybe new races?
There you go. Yeah. Yeah, let's need some new races, man.
Casey was talking about like dragons. I don't. If they keep going with the Dragonborn thing or not, I don't really have much of a preference. But I want there to still be like some giant bosses, whether it be dragons that you can fight or other giant creatures. And it would be cool if they had some sort of thing to replace the shouts or something like that. And then I feel like Skyrim kind of led you in a more linear path because of the Dragonborn thing. So I want it to be more open, you know, get where, I mean, you can still do that in Skyrim and run out and do nothing but side quests, but it seems like it wants to steer you in a direction more so. So I want it to be kind of do your own adventure.
That's because Skyrim was more power fantasy instead of a traditional RPG.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I want to talk for just a minute here because there are some things I really want to see. Earlier in the beginning of the video, I was talking about Akavir. I really, I know they're probably not going to do this, right? But I really want to see Elder Scrolls 6 be in Akavir, because it's a continent that we know almost nothing about. We've never really been there. You know, I mean, there's nothing in most of the lore books in the games. Like, we do know some of the races, and we do know a little bit because they have tried to invade Tamriel twice. And some of the survivors in the second invasion were like a race of, they're kind of like Argonians, but they're more like snake people, and they can actually eat people and absorb their powers. And so for the longest time they thought that like the men in Akavir weren't there, but what had actually happened was the snake creatures, right? They ate the men and they absorbed their powers. And then there was some of the men that survived who actually lived in Tamriel after that. And you guys know the blades, right? Like the guard that is there for the Emperor. Like the blades was started by some of those survivors from Akavir. So like the Daikatana, dragon scale armor, right? All of that stuff is from Akavir, you know. And if they want to keep the Dragonborn thing going, I'm sure they can find some way, right, to bring that back. Considering they actually say in the lore, right, like these snake people in Akavir eventually turn into dragons, is what the stories are. I mean, there's like a race of monkey people over there, you know, and they have a race of Khajiit, but they look like tigers as opposed to looking like cats, you know. Like, so I really think it'd be a good idea for them to just get us away from Tamriel right now, because we've already been to Daggerfall. You know, we've already been to these places. You know, I mean, there's already been multiple games based on these regions. So when I first heard they were doing it, I was actually kind of surprised. I was like, why? You know, not to mention the fact that in Elder Scrolls Online, you can go anywhere in Tamriel. So why not give us something, you know, that's going to be original? And for a while, people were thinking, okay, maybe Elder Scrolls 6 will be in Elsewhere, but then they included Elsewhere in Elder Scrolls Online too. So, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens, but I think it'd be a really good idea for them to get us out of Tamriel. I don't really care about the storyline that's going on right now, about the whole Civil War and all that, you know. I mean, it would be cool to find out what ends up happening to the Dragonborn, because we always seem to figure out, you know, what happened to the playable character on the next game in the series. So, like, for example, the guy from Oblivion became Sheogorath. You know, so it'd be nice to find out what happened to the Dragonborn. And for all we know, we can actually find the Neverine in Akavir, because that's where he went at the end of Morrowind. He went to Akavir. You know, so I think it'd be a really cool Easter egg for like old school fans, and you know, to find the Neverine like in Akavir while you're playing that. And it'd be cool for the new school fans too, because you could still keep a lot of the Dragonborn stuff that a lot of people seem to like.
Every single Elder Scrolls kind of has 1 to 2 different types of areas. Like, so Skyrim, it's a lot of snowy areas and then a lot of just dirt and grass areas. What I want is way more interesting looking areas. I want an area with cherry blossoms, kind of like an oriental themed area. I want a dungeon to have like actual shit in it, not just fucking enemies and rocks. I want I want to invade a fucking, a dungeon that goes, imagine it's like on a mountain, right? It has like glass on it. You go in there and then there's like buildings and shit in there. And you go further down, like all of the dungeons in Skyrim, it's just dirt and enemies. Like I want more interesting areas. I want vibrant grass, the pink blossom area, the fucking, you know, um, just very different areas so that it's more interesting. Because after a while in Skyrim, it just all blended together. It's all just, you know, like,
Snow.
you know what I'm saying? Like it was just not interesting. I
Yeah.
want, you know,
Do we want to go to the snowy area or do we want to go to the rocky, snowy area?
yeah, exactly. Like I want, like
Like Breath of the Wild probably had more.
it had more
variation.
variation in it. It had next to
Yeah.
no variation. It'd be cool. A desert area. Have a desert area. Have a like have different
We could have
looking
a
areas.
lava area or something.
A lava area. Yeah, like fucking it'd be cool. And like also I want on top of all of the areas, I want weather effects. I want rain. I want maybe sometimes there's sandstorms, thunderstorms, tornadoes, like shit like that would be fucking insane to come across.
Yeah.
Without the modding community having to step in.
And without all
Right.
the bugs, but I'm asking for too much for no bugs.
Hey, you just reminded me of a good point I wanted to bring up. So, do you guys think they're finally going to make a new game engine, or do you think they're going to continue using the exact same game engine they've been using since Morrowind?
If it's the same engine, it's not going to be good.
Dude, I'll be pissed.
Yeah, it's gonna be the
think-
same combat.
I think if they were to include way more people, like Derecuda was saying, more people, more different areas, weather effects, you have to have it on a different engine. That engine can't do that. It just can't.
Dude, I think there's no excuse for them taking. It's been over a decade since Skyrim came out. There's no excuse for them to reuse the same engine. And if you're like, oh, well, what about Elder Scrolls Online? That wasn't made by Bethesda. That was
Even Call of Duty
Yeah,
made a
it
new
was
engine
ZeniMax Online.
Yep.
with the new Modern Warfare. They made it a new engine for that.
Yeah,
Even they did.
Yeah.
like it's okay if you're coming out with a game a year or two later to use the same engine, but you gotta at least update it and
Yeah.
rehaul it.
Yeah, not 12, 13 years later. Or by the time it comes out, 16, 17 years later.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's probably gonna be at least like 15 years.
Dude,
gap.
pyramids. Why don't they have an area with pyramids? Like, they could have so many different varying areas so that it's actually fun to explore and it doesn't feel like you're in the same area throughout the entire game.
It's just like that's really hard to do. I'm not saying it's a bad idea, but it's like if they can pull it off, it'd be amazing. But the reason why I'm saying it's hard to do is because you have to get the size of the world just right. You know what I mean? Because like if you don't, like I know a lot of people love Breath of the Wild. I'm not saying it's a bad game, but
I didn't like it that much.
I didn't like it that much either, but my big issue with it was, to me, it felt more like a theme park version, right, of what a Zelda game should be. It didn't feel like an actual legit Zelda game. It just felt like I'm in a little theme park, right, of what Zelda should be, and that's where I'm getting, with this. Is if the world isn't big enough, right, then you're going to have a lot of, it's going to be like desert, then all of a sudden you're going to be in like a grassy fantasy world, and then all of a sudden you're going to be in an ocean.
It needs to have gradual change.
Exactly.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So it needs to be bigger, for sure. I'm saying in
Oh,
the
it better be
ideal
bigger.
world where they do it correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Agreed. But because then the other thing too is if it's too big, right, then there's going to be a bunch of open world and you're going to be bored because it's
I
just gonna be a bunch of
also-
grass.
I already know it's going to be a buggy mess, but I don't want them to have cheese. I don't want to be able to cheese the game. Because that has, like for instance, like, I remember in Morrowind, you could go to one of the stores, hide, rubber band your thumbsticks down, and you could get your stealth up to 100 in like a few hours. Just
I
leave
used
it.
to do the same thing, bro. I
Or
put
you
my
could go
character up.
craft and just craft iron dagger on Skyrim and get your crafting up to 100. Like,
Yeah.
They need to make sure you can't cheese the game like that.
Dude, every time I start Morrowind, I put my character into a corner and I hit auto run so that my athletic skills goes up, and I just leave it for like 2 or 3 days.
There was so as a kid, me and 2 of my other brothers played Morrowind all the time. We discovered this glitch, so I didn't consider it cheating, and we never did it on our main profiles. We didn't have internet back in the day, so like we didn't look it up or anything. I don't know if other people even know about this. But we discovered this thing where if you get you can make spells in Morrowind. You get Jack of all trade, and then you get and you do it. I can't remember if you do it to self or to target, but you can do one or the other, and then have it mix it with one of the things that temporarily boost one of your attributes, and look down and just shoot it, and it permanently raises your stats. I had it to the like one top just for the fuck of it. I did swimming, and I just did it for like a straight hour, and then I jumped into the air, landed in the water, and I tapped my joystick. I tapped it, and it just instant load, because it went from the bottom left of the map all the way to the top right, and then I was like, huh, I wonder. I did it a little bit more, and it completely froze the game.
Oh man, that's like those stories you hear of with the creation kit where people will spawn like 1,000,000 watermelons, and it'll crash the game because it can't handle that many watermelons.
I think I could be wrong, but I think I upgraded my stealth to the point where it was hard to talk to anybody, because even standing up, people would be like, "Who's there? I don't see anybody."
Yeah.
Like, not even crouched. Like,
Dude, my brother, what he always does is he always maxes his lockpicking. Lockpicking and stealth. And then what he does is when he's in combat, he crouches, and then they can't see him, and then he walks behind him, and because he has like pickpocketing skill, there we go, and because he has the pickpocketing skill, like now they can't see him, and he'll pickpocket all of their armor off and stuff, and then they'll just die once he hits them because they have no more armor or anything. It was the craziest thing. He used to do that all the time.
the cheesing
Good strategy.
was fun at times, but I remember Skyrim cheesing the stealth and the just the monotonous task that would take like an hour or 2 or whatever. Like, I don't want to be able to do that.
Yeah. Can I ask you guys something real quick? Am I the only one that ever used to go up to a mountain and just like jump over and over and over again until I found footing? So instead of having to walk all the way like around the mountain.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Right? Good. I'm happy I'm not.
I ain't going all the way around. The fuck?
Yeah, hell no. No.
It might take longer, but I ain't doing. Just might take longer just doing the jumping, but I'm not going around. What the fuck?
Yeah, no.
I ain't no bitch.
Nope. Anime, do you got anything you want to add? That is so insightful.
Good talk.
Dude.
Good talk.
Bro, like you blew my mind.
My life will never be the same after what I just heard you say.
I can't believe those points weren't like. I couldn't even think of those kind of points.
Did you write that down before you came on the show, or was that off the top of your head? Because that was just amazing. That was beautiful.
Off the top of your head.
Yeah. And that was just so much so fast too.
I know, man. It was weird. I mean, it was only like 30 seconds, but it felt like an hour. I feel like I'm a better man now, having heard that.
I cannot wrap my head around what I just heard.
Man,
Honestly, if Bethesda doesn't take your advice, they're fucking morons.
idiots.
Yeah,
Every last
Straight
one.
dum-dums.
should all be fired, and Microsoft should probably reevaluate what they.
Why the fuck do they have?
Who the
They need to
person
fire
is.
all writers and just hire him.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Anime King is the king of Bethesda.
All hell. Anime king.
Yes, we're not worthy. We're not
We're
worthy.
not worthy.
Magic conch shell.
Nice. Derecuda, I know you got something you want to say.
Not really, actually.
I want them to steal from Fable. I want to be able to have multiple wives. I want them to be able to find each other and then fucking have a bitch fight over it.
They,
I want to
they
be able
should
to have
steal.
kids. I want to be able to kill kids. I want to be able to kill kids. I want to be able to kill kids,
Yeah.
punch kids, harm kids.
I think they should feel. They should steal like combat from the Witcher series or something. Or, just make it different enough to justify the decade and a half that we have to wait in between games.
I want better dialogue.
Since
Oh,
so many
definitely.
people have bought it, the same game 5 times.
You know what I want, but I know they'll probably never be able to do this, and it makes sense because I know they probably just don't have the technology to do it. But I've always wanted to be able to just set fire to the world. You know, like go to every hold and like destroy every single castle, and like kill every single villager in every single city. You know, and then you just load into the world one day and it's just you, right? And everything's
That's
just
arson.
in ashes. You know, like.
Couldn't you do that in Morrowind? Couldn't you kill anyone? It would make it where you can't complete quests, but you can
Yes.
kill them.
Right.
What if you
right.
What if you can douse a whole town in kerosene?
That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, and then just light it and watch it all go up in flames,
Yeah.
and population goes from 500 to 0.
Right. And the
Did
town's just
kerosene
gone
exist
forever.
in that timeline?
Huh? They could have their own version. It's not a real place.
Well, they don't even need kerosene. They can do a dragon's out that just magically makes fire appear, or they can make fire appear from their hands with a destruction spell. To be fair,
Yeah.
you know. Like,
I
Well, they got alcohol.
yeah.
I want to be able to
So-
drink alcohol and then spit out fire.
Oh,
It could just be moonshine.
I love it when you can get drunk. I think you can do that in Skyrim, right? You can get drunk in Skyrim. Everything turns blurry.
Yeah, I think
don't-
so.
Was that a thing? I don't
Yeah.
remember that.
Or are we just thinking
GTA 5.
GTA? Yeah.
No, I think
I know-
I've never played
I-
GTA 5, so
Oh,
I
okay.
think it did happen in Skyrim too. Yeah.
I know. I saw it more recently in GTA 5.
There's a lot of games you can do that. You can do that in BioShock too, actually.
In like Borderlands, for instance, she like turns all purpley and then like teleports, you know, like a few fucking yards to get behind people and shit.
Yeah, the
like,
siren.
siren, yeah, something like that,
was
where you
always
can
my
like,
favorite.
where like you just hit the button, you know, and it fucking shoots you wherever you're looking.
Yeah.
That'd be a cool attribute,
Yeah.
stuff like that, or you know, or to take from Fable again, you can fucking summon all the swords and they just go down, you know? Be fucking sick to have stuff like that. Or like
Big-
lightning, instead of it coming from your hands, it comes you like it gets a cloud and it shoots the lightning down, you know? Like
Raiden style.
yeah, like more
Um,
more creative spells, I guess.
They should take a note from Borderlands, and she may not be Big Teddy, but let me play as a Big Teddy goth girlfriend. Come on.
That's what I'm
Dude,
saying, dude.
some-
I want to be able to fucking have a big toddy
Tattoos.
big titty goth girl wife side
Waifu.
bitch in each town,
That is one
and then
thing.
I
each
want them to
town.
all find out about each other and then fight each other.
Yeah, nice. That's one
And
thing
then
they
winner
really need to do.
gets me.
Like they really need to
Oh.
work on like hairstyles. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed this, but like the hair is atrocious. In every,
It's awful.
Yeah, in every single Elder Scrolls game. Like one of my favorite mods for Skyrim is like a beauty pack mod, where you can make it like a girl character that has like a beautiful hair and she looks like a supermodel and shit. You know what I mean? Like they need to be able to do that. That should be pickable from the beginning. There's no excuse for them to not be able to do that. You know?
And from what I've seen, I saw like a character model for some old lady that they were going to put in the game because they were worried that she may not live until Elder Scrolls 6 comes out.
Oh, I saw
And-
that. I saw
yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And that model
They're gonna
looks,
put her in the game.
Yeah, and that model looks amazing. So if they stick with that, then people are like the characters are all going to look so much better. And
Dude, that
then
shit's
another
sad.
thing that one of the things, yeah, it is. But one of the things about the engine and also why people were thinking was it was what were Hammerfell. is they were showing where they're basically using graphics that are based off pictures of real life, which is going to make it look insane. And that was one of the speculations that it was Hammerfell.
Yeah, I mean, the
But it
graphics
could be
better
a new
good.
engine. Yeah,
I mean,
but
yeah.
that could mean a new engine, I would hope, unless they're just making good graphics with the same old engine that they've been using for decades.
Yeah, again, they better not. I would be so irritated if it's the exact same engine.
Yeah, I mean, even if they just tweak it and upgrade it a little bit, that's not good enough. They need to. It needs a complete rehaul. They can still start from the same base, but then and that falls into what I kept going back to with the combat. It needs to feel more realistic. They need to evolve to stay relevant, I think.
How would you guys feel about territories? So, like, say there's a city, you can become like the king of that city, and so
Nice.
you have to give
Get wars
funds,
and stuff.
you have to like train people. People can randomly attack it. You have to like order people like which areas, and like you can build up defenses, shit like that.
That'd be sweet.
Yeah, and
like
totally doable because they did that sort of thing. And I mean, you had something kind of like that in Fallout 4.
Yeah, a lightweight.
way more expansive than that though.
Yeah. But I mean, I'm like, well, they've kind of done something a little bit to that extent.
But like you have to have like, you know, like maybe there's like a ratio of like how many women live here, how many men live here. You're like the way you decorate it and the way you run it kind of attracts, you know, women more or men more, and how like down to the T, like how you actually would be in like back in the day, how you run it really determines how well it is, you know, how much money you put in, how much food, how many what if you have to grow food, you know, like not monotonous like a lot of games do it. Like I feel like if they did it right, it could be fun and make it have a lot more replayability.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I like that you mentioned that, because that is one thing I would like to see them do, is make the landscape a little more believable. You know, like for example, in Skyrim they had farms, right? But there was so little food growing there that it was kind of like, there is no way in hell, right, that this little patch of land is gonna feed everybody in Whiterun, right? Like there's no way that's gonna happen.
Harvestman can do it.
So I want to say something about gameplay real quick. So has anyone here even played Elder Scrolls Online?
I have, not a ton.
Very
I paid
small
for it
bit.
when it first came out.
So the thing I don't like about ESO is I don't like how they have like the ability where it's kind of like Warcraft, right? Where you have like abilities, you push a button and she'll do like a combo move, or your character's gonna do a combo move or some kind of spell. I really hope they keep it like the traditional, where you're doing everything, right? Like when you push one button, swing a sword, like more of the hack and slash style that they've had.
Mm-hmm.
Although I would be okay with it if... Have you guys played Lost Ark by any chance?
No. I was gonna say, like, even if they did something kind of like Diablo, where you had a bunch of spells that you had quick access to,
Yeah.
and then they recharge.
Yeah. So what I was gonna say is like, this would be really hard for them to pull off, and I don't think they'd be able to do it. I don't even think they should probably try, because that's how little confidence I have in that. But Lost Ark, right? Like the combat in that game is really fluid. It's kind of like Devil May Cry, but like an RPG style version of Devil May Cry's combat system. Now, I'm not saying I want Elder Scrolls to be Devil May Cry, but it would be cool if, at least like you guys were talking about with animations earlier, if we can get more than just, you know,
Yeah.
'cause that's all we're doing, you know. Yeah. And shield.
And
Minecraft?
that's
Yeah.
what I don't. That's my main thing about the combat, is that's all it is. It's just, I don't know, get something more fun in there. Otherwise, someone else is gonna do it better, and they're gonna take the spotlight. I mean, you're gonna get sales because of the name, but there's someone else will do it better if you don't.
Exactly. Yeah, they need to work on that, I think. I guess we'll see what happens when it comes out.
hmm And I mean, there's virtually no previews, really. No footage.
So how about
I
like
mean, we got Starfield, which is a look into what could potentially
I'm
be Elder
worried
Scrolls
about
6.
that. I'm worried about that though. They're saying there's gonna be 100 star systems with 1,000 planets. Yeah, like how? How? I don't understand why they're even doing this Starfield experiment. Starfield better blow me away, or I'm just gonna be like, this is a waste of time. You know?
Yeah, we could have gotten Elder Scrolls. You could have came out with Elder Scrolls 7 not that far after when we're now expecting Elder Scrolls 6. Or we would have Fallout 5. And now that, was it?
Or, well, they could have used that time to make Fallout 76 not suck.
Yes.
You know, how about that?
Who was the developer? I don't want to misspeak. Was it Visceral? No, it wasn't Visceral. That's who did Diablo 2 remake. But who did New Vegas?
New Vegas?
Yeah.
Obsidian.
Yeah, that's
Obsidian. Yes,
yeah.
yes, Obsidian. I'm sorry, looking ignorant. I know they did that other, like
Outer Worlds.
Yeah, Outer Worlds. I was gonna say it was very Fallout. Like, get Obsidian involved.
I'm not gonna lie.
In the next Fallout, especially.
I don't really have much faith in Bethesda anymore. The last good thing they did was Skyrim, and that was a decade ago.
And the best Fallout.
I feel like that's debatable too, right? You know, like so.
Skyrim wasn't even that good. I mean, it was fun when it first came out because I got it day one, but it got milked to fucking hell.
Yeah, I got day one on PS3 and it was rough.
I got day one on 360.
I had to buy it multiple times.
I would really like to see them like make cities, actual cities. You know, like looking back at Oblivion, right? The Imperial City was the biggest city, and even that didn't feel like a city. They all feel like these small little towns. You know, so it'd be cool if they were able to up the scale. You know,
and not to talk down on Bethesda, but I think it speaks volumes about them if Obsidian used their engine and made the best Fallout game that there is.
Obsidian.
Arguably, though.
Ouch.
Obsidian has made banger after banger. Not only that, but with a very, very small time frame. I think they had 18 months to do New Vegas. 18 months.
And I'm sure they have a smaller dev team.
And then
than Bethesda, I would assume.
Like, hold up, because I know there's more examples than just that.
Well, I'm just saying, since they're all under the Microsoft umbrella, get them working together. Why not?
That's true, actually.
Make it.
Yeah, Microsoft has bought pretty much everything.
Make Obsidian part of Bethesda. Make it Bethesda-Obsidian or something. Like they're a progressive married couple.
Yeah, while he's doing that, real quick to touch on something you brought up earlier, Derecuda. I agree with, like, I do feel like it would be dumb for Microsoft to not allow the release of their games on Sony systems. And I'll tell you why. Like, how much do you think that's got to hurt Sony, right? Knowing that they have to basically crawl to their competition and beg them for these games. You know, how much of a boost in ego would that be?
If that even works. It's not going to go on. It's not going to go for free on the PlayStation tiers unless they spend
Knights of the Old Republic.
Obsidian made that?
KOTOR.
And they had a very small time frame.
KOTOR, yeah.
And they made
great
Jade Empire too, then, right?
But yeah, Outer Worlds too. I really need to play that. But I don't think Switch would be the way to do it. It'd be nice if they upped it for PS5.
I'm not sure. But Knights of the Old Republic, they had a very, very small time frame. If y'all listeners, or if you're a creep and watching, referencing It's Always Sunny, they call the people who actually watch creepers, and then the listeners are just listeners.
From the Sunny podcast.
Yeah. If y'all care that much, you can look more into it. But I remember seeing a person making a video about that, how Obsidian, there's been multiple instances where they had a very small time frame and did better than the people that had years to make something.
Oh, no, I was wrong. Jade Empire is BioWare, but BioWare is owned by Microsoft, so
Well, yeah, they could have them all working together,
yeah, you know.
and
I
it'd be
just-
stupid not to. If you don't have Obsidian working on Fallout 5, what do you?
Yeah.
Why'd you add them into your repertoire of companies?
Yeah,
pretty
it'd be a
stupid.
huge miss. Yeah, it'd be a huge misstep for them to
Yeah.
not let the people that made arguably the best Fallout game make another Fallout game, considering you own them. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. You own them both. You now own the IP.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to talk some more about the PlayStation thing as well. Like, is it confirmed one way or the other? I heard that they were going to stick with their existing contracts.
The last thing I've heard, and I was researching it today, is it looks like it's not going to Sony. That they're going to.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Let's
That's
be
what
honest
I heard when I
though,
was researching today as well.
me personally, I'm gonna play PC. Any game that comes to
Same.
PC, I'm playing it on PC.
I need a better PC, but
Same.
I still think it is a very dumb idea. They're missing out on like who knows how many people are going to adopt PlayStation VR 2. That means that you can only do it on Oculus through PC or something.
Yeah, I was just about to say
If they do something like that.
Yeah.
That's the only, but that you don't have any option through Xbox to play through VR if they ended up wanting to do a VR version. It'd be really weird if it comes to the night. I mean, I'd be offended if it comes to the night. I get that they don't see Nintendo as more of as so much of competition, but look at Minecraft. Look at Minecraft. They keep supporting that on everything.
Yeah.
Couldn't you
It
I
just
could
seems
be
stupid.
wrong, but doesn't Xbox or Microsoft have some kind of like virtual play thingy where they stream the game for you?
I think PlayStation
Yeah.
has that.
So if you have like a shitty PC, they can stream the game for you.
xCloud.
Yeah, I mean, wouldn't that be an option for you?
Yeah, and that's how I played Halo Infinite, and I have my One X. So if it does come out on that console generation, I don't have to buy new hardware.
Yeah,
Which it technically has more teraflops than the Series S,
I mean,
but it doesn't run as well. I'm sure.
yeah, but I
I'm
feel
pretty
like
sure
there's major drawbacks to that. I'm not trying to cut you off because like this whole streaming gaming thing, I feel like the technology isn't there yet because it's really laggy.
Yeah, that's why Stadia failed. And Google just they're not in touch with gamers at all.
I don't know how the cloud gaming is. However, I will say, just for the fuck of it, I on my phone, I had my Series S, and I booted up Halo Infinite, and I connected my Xbox controller to my phone, and I played it. But it's playing on the S, but it's displaying to the phone.
Well,
That
yeah.
worked flawlessly on
And
Halo Infinite.
But you're also on the same Wi-Fi network. That makes
Yeah,
a
yeah.
difference.
So I was saying, like, I don't know.
If you're doing it through mobile data, it'd be a lot tougher. I've tried it where I brought a PlayStation Vita TV to try to remote play my PlayStation 4 from home. It works perfectly through the same Wi-Fi network if they're both connected to the same router.
Yeah, but like in this instance, we're saying like
But yeah,
if you wanted to play it at home.
well,
Yeah.
but I mean that's different than just streaming it like Netflix as a game.
Yeah, I
But
assume so.
but when I did try out Halo Infinite, I had maybe one or two hiccups total. It ran really well, and I don't have fiber here. I used to, but I mean, I get I don't know over 100 megabytes down a second, which isn't. It could be a lot better, but it could be a lot worse. It works for me,
Did
I
you,
have-
and it played pretty well.
go
I
ahead,
have
Ariel.
1,000 down, but I missed my 1,000 up.
I'd imagine so.
Now I only
It's
have
still
like
not
40
bad
up.
either.
But
Yeah, I got,
Derecuda,
like, 40 to
did you
60.
when you were doing the streaming gaming thing, like were you playing competitively at all?
No, I did not try that. Well, I might. I don't remember if I actually tried it or not, but I think I was trying to play through the campaign and just testing it out. It was if you remember when I streamed the Video Game Awards, it was right after that.
I remember that.
I started playing through like the first level of Halo Infinite.
Man, now that you bring that up, it'd be cool if they could get
that
like
got
the
copyright
people.
claim too. I was like, that's my best stream. That sorry to interrupt, but
No,
I
it's
was
all
like
good.
that was one stream that I would like to keep up because I'm not acting a drunken fool.
Yeah.
and it got copyright claimed, and like so many people like Spawn Wave, like I don't know, just all the gaming YouTubers were streaming it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were able to keep it up either though. It was still fun.
So remember on that stream when like the Hellblade 2 trailer happened, I was all excited because I really liked Hellblade. It'd be really cool. Not they probably won't do this either, but it'd be really cool if they could like if they made the combat system for Elder Scrolls 6 more like Hellblade. Like that combat system is amazing. I love it.
And like that's why I mentioned The Witcher 3 because that was mentioned in one of the videos I was watching earlier, and I have it on Switch, which I hear runs pretty well, even though CD Projekt Red dropped the ball with a certain game that we all know about.
Yeah, but they did good on Witcher 3, to be fair.
Yeah. And I don't know if they were in charge on that port or not, but I hear it's a really good port. But I still haven't really actually played it, so I can't speak too much about it. But it seems like it's a similar type of game to the Elder Scrolls series nowadays. So like, and I'm sure it's not as in depth in certain things, but if they had combat more like that, because it seems like it's more combat based action RPG, and it would just make it more fun than just I'm swinging my axe, I'm swinging my hammer.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. The one thing, this is gonna be the make or break for me. They need to go to Rockstar. They need to get the developers who did Red Dead 2. They need to steal or buy or borrow, whatever you want, They need to get the balls, mechanics of the horses and implement it into Elder Scrolls 6 because I plan on doing a lot of ball staring. You need to be able to go prone and just stare. You get your nice little stars at night. Maybe a shooting star or two. I want to see the balls freeze. I want to see them shrink up, and then as daytime comes, they need to expand because it's getting hotter. I want super serious, super realistic
ball physics
mechanics for my fucking horses. Or else, why the fuck would I be playing Elder Scrolls 6?
I thought you were being serious at first.
I knew that balls were going to come into play in the first podcast I was in. I just didn't know when. Balls or jizz.
Okay, moving on. What are your guys' predictions for like what if you would leave it at one thing, what would be your prediction for the game? Like I'll go first to make it a little easier so you guys kind of understand what I'm saying. I think the game's gonna end up taking place in High Rock, and I think the power fantasy aspect is probably going to be sword singing. I'm not looking forward to it. I have no interest whatsoever, and I'll be pretty sad if that's the way they go, because I have no interest in going back to High Rock anytime soon. So it is what it is. I bet you the main campaign is going to be about 20 hours. It'll look pretty, is what I should say, but I'm worried it's going to feel pretty empty, though. And unfortunately, that's my prediction right there. So, Ariels, I'll let you go first.
I think it's going to be Skyrim 2.0.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe a different area, but it's going to be just like Skyrim. I don't think they're going to expand, try new things. Skyrim 2.0.
Definitely.
And if that's the case, I gotta tell you, unless it's on Game Pass for free, I ain't paying $60-$70 for that.
Yeah, I feel like I should wait 2 or 3 years after it comes out, because then it'll be cheaper, and all the modders, the modders would have made the game playable by that point, right? So
playable and enjoyable.
Mm-hmm, exactly. So how about you, Derecuda?
Well, yeah, like I gotta agree. Like I think it's a very stupid economic decision to not release it on every platform they can. But if I can just play it for free on Game Pass, even if I'm streaming it. It won't. I'm not speculating that it will have online, but that would be great.
Also, if it is on Game Pass, but it's like fucking 200 gigabytes or more, and it has bad reviews, I ain't gonna download it for free.
Well, I'm sure people are gonna eat it up, and it's gonna be a very popular game that's gonna sell well.
I
That's
don't know
that's a
about that.
speculation.
It'll sell well.
Just from the yes, exactly. Just
It'll
from the
sell,
name.
but
Just
whether
from
the
the name, I
perception is
speculate
good
that it.
is-
I expect it to sell well. That's my speculations.
I don't think it's gonna be like Breath of the Wild, where everybody just sucks it off.
yeah.
You know,
And you mentioned mounts
bank on
and stuff.
making videos about Elder Scrolls.
Even if the mount mechanics were more, I know you were joking with the balls and stuff, but even if the mount mechanics were like, if you're riding a horse and it's as easy to ride as Breath of the Wild. That's what went to my head before I realized what you were talking about. I expect it to look gorgeous. I also expect it to be not a huge step up in the things I want it to be a huge step up from. I don't expect it to be as ambitious as it should be. I don't know. I think that you kind of Skyrim 2.0, but 15 years later, you would hope that would be still a giant leap. But
can I go
we'll
off on
see.
a tangent for a second here? Are you guys
Go
okay
on.
with that? So
Yep.
this is a hot take, but like, I did not like Breath of the Wild. I really didn't at all. It did not feel like a Zelda game to me. It always
Super
felt.
lifeless.
Yeah, I swear to God,
I honestly
felt
haven't played it much. I got it day one. Still haven't played it that much.
It felt like I was playing Skyrim, like with less things to do, and with a Zelda coat of paint over it.
I still thought it was more fun combat. I know I keep going back to the combat thing, but
Yes and no, and I'll tell you why I say yes and no. Like, yeah, because the combat was fun at times, but no, because
Swords breaking were fucking
Yep.
annoying.
Yep, and that's where I was going with that.
Yep. I was
Mhm.
thinking that too.
Yep.
You get a badass sword and it's gonna break.
Mm.
What? And then you're gonna end up resorting to a goddamn stick.
Yeah, that was
That
the
was
worst.
that was stupid. I hate that about it. There's been it's nowhere near from Elder Scrolls 5 to 6, but the fact they're taking so long for Breath of the Wild 2, I hope they make some changes that really makes it more of an actual Zelda game, and they implement the open world better, or if it's not open world, I hope they make good changes to make it an even better Zelda game that makes people ashamed that they thought Breath of the Wild was the best of the series.
I
Because I
think
think probably fucking the SNES ones.
this is going to be a hot take, but I think Breath of the Wild 2 is going to be Breath of the Wild 2.0.
Yeah.
Because they showed some of the gameplay and stuff, you know?
It is Breath
And
of
it
the Wild
looks
2.
just like Breath of the Wild
It
1.
does.
With maybe
yeah.
a few more added things, a
I
little
think
more
it's
gimmicks
like
and stuff, but
underground.
I don't think it's going to expand too much.
And-
I think it's going to be like how... It's going to be even less special than Majora's Mask to Ocarina of Time. Majora's Mask was good. It changed everything up, but it was like in the same engine. It's going to be like that,
but they found a way
but
to
even
change that.
less changes.
They changed the gameplay so much with the same engine to where they were able to.
Yeah, it's going to be like that, but less special. It's going to be almost the same thing.
Oh
just
yeah, no,
a few added things.
I really doubt that they're gonna get rid of some of the mechanics like the weapons breaking.
Well, they
but-
showed like using the
but-
stupid
but they
power
could.
thingies and stuff.
They could, and it's gonna sell well no matter what. Just like Elder Scrolls 6 will.
Yeah, the sales for Breath of the Wild, though, were just ridiculous. They sold more copies of Breath of the Wild than Switches. How does that happen?
Are you talking Switch copies though? Because it
Yes.
did come out on Wii U as well.
No. They literally sold more Switch copies of Breath of the Wild than Switches that were actually available. Like, people were
A lot
buying
of
it.
the
Is
weirdos that
that-
buy multiple
Is that?
copies.
Oh yeah,
that have
yeah.
it
At
sealed,
one point.
Yeah.
No, I'm sure not lifetime.
I don't
'Cause
know. You know what I
don't-
think though, like, not trying to cut anyone off, but Ariel's going back
Oh,
on
you're good.
what you were saying. I guarantee you that Breath of the Wild is going to be copy paste for the open world, and then they added like those Skyloft things in the sky, and that's going to be the only new areas in the game. There'll be other quests to do in the open world, but it's going to be copy paste. Like, I guarantee it. Come back to this video, anybody who's listening, you know, like, remember this. Remember that I said this. Because, like, I guarantee it's going to happen.
They're not gonna have super expansive dungeons like how most Zeldas have. They're gonna have the stupid mini, whatever those fucking things are in Breath of the Wild. What are they called?
The shrines.
Yeah, they're gonna have the shrines. They're gonna have, you know, I would argue the beast, the 4 divine beasts. Those weren't even really like dungeon.
No.
They're just, and it's gonna be like that. It's not gonna have like super, you know, like it's not gonna have like water temple from Ocarina of Time. That's just not gonna be in there.
No.
It's gonna be more of the same shit from Breath of the Wild 1. And if you like that, hell yeah, enjoy the game. I'm excited for you. I'm not excited. I'm probably, you know, it's just not for me.
Sold that many copies for a reason, so it's gonna do well.
You know, at no point of me, you know, critiquing a game am I trying to tell other people they can't enjoy it. Go ahead and enjoy it if that's your thing.
Right.
Just not for me.
Yeah, I feel it.
Yeah. Well, I think that. Well, I think with one of the very first trailer that they showed something underground, so I think they're going to at least expand on it with underneath Hyrule. That's my speculation for that, but I know that that's not this podcast.
I want more story.
Yeah, I almost feel like we could probably make a whole nother podcast just talking about Breath of the Wild, man. Like, Jesus.
True. Even though none of us really have, like, I haven't beaten the game.
I have.
I don't know what.
100%
I need
of the
to.
game. The only thing I haven't beat was all the poop from the Kokoris. Because I was like,
You didn't get all 900?
no, hell no.
Let's
Fucking poser.
Let's beat the Great Mighty Pooh on Conker's Bad Fur Day.
If this
a
makes it
Zelda
into
poser.
the podcast, everyone comment down below saying
Zelda
Brandon is a
poser.
fucking poser.
Zelda
a fucking
poser.
Zelda poser.
A proud Zelda poser, yes. Yeah, I was never gonna do that shit. Fuck that. Anime, do you have anything to say about to Elder Scrolls 6 to close this out? Any predictions or anything?
Please be specific.
Oh.
Shit.
Wow. What?
Really?
No. What?
He just turned this whole podcast upside down.
Jesus Christ.
What? Dude,
I
that's
didn't even know that.
amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, who are your sources for this? What?
Really?
Whoa, okay, they're credible.
That's amazing, man. I can't believe.
Man.
Jesus Christ.
Dude,
Talk about ending on a high note.
Yeah, seriously. That was awesome. Okay, you gotta go. Okay, everybody, if you want, you know, you just heard what Anime said, so obviously we need to plug his channel. Go subscribe to him. All right, it's anime_fan_1982. All right, so Anime, thank you very much for showing up. Also, we got Derecuda. Go subscribe to him. It's just Derecuda in the description. We'll have links to all of the socials. And then also we got the ever lovely Ariel's. She's above me right now, but she might be over here. Depends on the editing.
Hey, same here.
Yeah, go to her channel too. Make sure you like, subscribe. And,
Twitch and Instagram is I am Ariels. YouTube is just Ariels.
Perfect. There we go. And I'll get
All my stuff is Derecuda. Sorry.
Just a bunch of Derecuda. And
Yeah, I got
say,
Twitch too.
You're forgetting the triplets after it.
Right.
It's Derecuda 000_000, you know.
No, it's not. But there's no binary after it. It's just Derecuda.
Nice.
I've had a few YouTubers be like, Derecuda?
Derecuda.
Y'all don't get it.
Sudafed? Wait, what?
Who, Derecuda?
Yeah.
But yeah, literally everything. So I used to stream to both YouTube and Twitch, but so I do have a Twitch. But anyway, carry on.
Nice. But yeah, thank everybody here for showing up. I have to say, Anime King, you were definitely the MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I didn't have enough input
I feel-
after what
yeah.
he just said.
I feel like you guys
Yeah.
barely talked now, and I feel like I barely talked now after hearing that. You know.
I feel like we just look like fucking idiots now.
I
Why
kinda,
should
yeah.
we have had? Yeah, why should we have had 4 people here when we just needed one?
Yeah, just the one. I mean, I kind of feel like maybe I should just kind of step away from YouTube for a while. I feel a little
You know,
ashamed.
If
Maybe
you
we
edit-
should just
if it-
like cut everything except for Anime King.
Anime's
'cause-
parts.
Yeah, once you're done editing this video, you should probably just send it to him to upload onto his channel.
That's a great idea. I think that's what I'll do.
It'd be kind of theft.
it's
if
only
you
fair.
Upload it on your own, like.
Yeah, it's just messed up.
That's true. Yeah, I feel like he'd have like a good grounds to hit me for copyright or something if I tried to put it on my channel. So everybody,
Yeah.
hello at Anime's channel. All right, subscribe to me too, cause it's gonna be on Anime's channel. I'm just Brandon Big Boss Morgan. So thank everybody for coming, and have a great night or day.
Thank you guys.
Either or, and late.